he was one of our, we recently had an interfaith program which was led by Shakeel here in Austin with us, and Mark and I have talked several times during that process, so we invited Mark today to the congregation for him to observe the prayer with us, and inshallah we'll go back ourselves and attend his church, which is Austin Ridge, at some point to go through that. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. All praise belongs to Allah. We praise Him and we ask Him for guidance and forgiveness. And we seek protection in Allah from the malice of our souls and the evil of our own actions. Whom Allah guides, no one can lead astray, and whom He makes astray, no one can lead him back to the right path. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا أنتم مسلمون. O you who believe, fear Allah as He should be feared, and die not except as Muslims. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا ويصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم من يؤتي الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. O who you believe, fear Allah and always say a word directed to truth, that He may make your conduct whole and sound, and forgive you your sins. He that obeys Allah and His Messenger has attained the highest achievement. So today I'm actually going to speak on a very simple topic. Initially I thought of having a topic to talk about Ashura, today being 9th of Muharram, as well as tomorrow being 10th of Muharram. Inshallah, many of us will pass during that time to help build our iman through that process. But I thought, let's talk about something really simple. And like most of you know, I am not a regular Sunni, right? I try to pick up some very simple topics that I personally feel closer to. So the last time I spoke about Surah Al-Asr, which is one of the smallest but very impactful surahs in the Quran, right? So I spoke about that. Today, I actually picked up an even more simpler topic, right? The topic I picked up is the greeting that we do when we meet each other, right? We say, As-Salam Alaikum. And the response to that is, Wa Alaikum As-Salam. And it simply translates to peace be upon you. Right? It simply translates to peace be upon you. And it has a very significant meaning to this, right? We are not talking about good morning, good evening, or Shabbat Khair, Shabbat Nur, right? We are talking about peace. We are not even saying, may Allah be with you. We are saying, may peace be with you. Now, of course, peace, As-Salam, is one of the names of Allah, which we see here regularly in front of us. Qualities and the names of Allah as part of that. Right? So it's not even, may the force be with you, which is, again, very popular among techies here in Austin. Right? So we are talking specifically about peace be with you. Right? And this is what I was pleasantly surprised about, especially since we do a lot of interfaith work here with ICLT. When we visited one of the churches, local churches, last just before Christmas, after the sermon by the pastor, each of the members got up and they were greeting each other with peace be with you, right? Sister Khadija was with me and so was Kamran, and we were all very surprised that, hey, this is common that we have, not just as ourselves, but also between the progeny of Abraham, Jews, Christians, everybody uses this, right? So peace be upon you. And when we say peace be upon you, right? And we are repeating these words on a regular basis, right? Whenever I meet somebody, that's the first thing that comes out of my mouth. Salam alaikum, right? Peace be upon you. Whenever somebody else is leaving or meeting, same thing, right? How many of us have thought what that really means in terms of the peace? Is this peace among nations? Is this peace among various different types of diverse people? Or can this be a simple peace of mind? Right? And that's something that is of a major issue as we see these days in terms of peace of mind. Right? A lot of people have troubles with peace of mind. Right? So, based on a couple of hadiths, this is a right that people have over each other. Right? I'll take a short detour here to request others also to come here and try to give khutbah. One of the things that I like about doing these khutbahs, even though I may not be able to do on a regular basis, is the preparation for this khutbah and the learnings that you have when you try to do something. In my case, one of the things I've always noticed about me, right from my student days, is that if I teach something to another group, I learn better. Right from my school days, I've always had that in terms of being able to teach something to others so you learn better, right? And even during this particular one, when I am going through some of the hadiths, one of the things that we notice is that there are Bill of Rights that everything has a definition in Islam in terms of Bill of Rights, right? Each thing or people, person, animal, everybody has their own rights. And one of the hadiths that I read about the Salam, it's interesting that the Prophet told people not to sit and meet in paths, in various paths that people would be passing on, right? And when people said, hey, we don't have other places to meet, so we meet at these areas where people pass. So he said, that's okay, as long as you understand the right of the path. So people asked him, saying, what is the right of the path? The right of the path, as he explained, is that anybody who comes on that path, you are the first to greet that person, right? And then you also lower your gaze, which is another aspect of Islam that we can talk at a certain point also. And then have a decent conversation with the people who are passing on the path, right? So that's something that I was really surprised, even the path has its right. And then each Muslim has a right. There are 5 or 6 rights according to different hadiths that people talk about, right? And one of the first rights is when you meet another Muslim, you say salam. You say assalamu alaikum. And the obligation on the other person is to respond to it with wa alaikum assalam, which is peace be upon you too. Right? That's one of the first rights. The other right is if somebody invites you, you take that invitation. If somebody is sick, you visit that person. If somebody dies, you join the Jamaat to go for the burial, and those are some of the rights that are mentioned in terms of the rights of each of the people, right? Very simple, basic things. And when I was reading through these hadiths for Salam, there are specifications on who say salam first. If there is a rider, they say salam first to somebody who's walking. If you are going into a group, the single person going into the group says the salam first. The smaller group says the salam first to the larger group, and even if some members of the larger group respond to that, that obligation is done. Right? So a lot of times you notice people say salam alaikum as you enter the mosque, and if there are people sitting in the masjid, you have to respond to it with wa alaikum assalam. Right? So I'll go back to again this whole concept of peace. Right? These days, with all the stuff that is going around, whether it is in social media, whether it is in the news, whether it is in all over the place, peace of mind is a rare commodity. People are suffering from loneliness. People are suffering from anxiety. People are suffering from a lot of things that are basically the issues that we have with oneself or with each other in terms of this peace, right? And that's one of the things that that we hope that everybody that we meet, that we are able to give that peace, and also are able to make sure that we are not disturbing the peace of that person, right? Take a short break here. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله الذي ولكم لرسول المسلمين فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. I say this saying of mine, I seek forgiveness from Allah for me and for you and to the rest of the Muslims. So ask Him for forgiveness, and He is the forgiver, the merciful. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In the name of Allah, the exaltations be to Allah, and the blessings and peace be upon the messenger of Allah. One of the surahs, again, one of the very simple surahs that we recite on a regular basis, this also happens to be the last surah of the Quran. When you read the meaning of that, it also has this reference. So I'm referring to Qul bin Nas. So when you say Qul bin Nas, Malikin Nas, Ilahin Nas, Min Sharri Waswasil Khannas, Alladhi Yuwaswisu fi Sudurin Nas, Min al-Jinnati wan Nas, you're asking for refuge from Allah. You're asking for refuge from Allah on a lot of different things, but one of the things that you would notice in that surah is you're asking for refuge from Allah, from the whisperer, the silent whisperer. And in general, the silent whisperer is referred to as the devil or the Satan or however you want to refer to. But if you think about it, most of us have some voice in our head, right? That's the silent whisperer. Sometimes that can be helpful, sometimes that can be bad, and that is the silent whisperer that's being referred to in that surah also. And that's one of the biggest causes of people having anxiety issues, people having issues with one another, what somebody else is thinking, what so-and-so is thinking about this, and that's the silent whisperer that comes out through that surah also, right? And in many cases, what we are seeing in the community, and I've seen this very closely even with my own family too, people are having mental health issues, right? And one of the programs that we did a few months back with Sheikh Salam, Sheikh Atiyah, and we had professionals like Dr. Asif Siddiqui from our community, Dr. Anjum, Afshan Anjum from our community too, and Sarah Shah and they were on this online program, and we talked in detail. This program is available on Austin Muslim Unity website, on Austin Muslim Unity Facebook site, if you are interested to go back and listen to it. And in general, we were talking about mental health issues in particular to COVID and the situation that we are in, but they also covered several topics that go beyond the COVID situation. And within this mental health issues, one of the key things that happens when somebody has issues with mental health in our community is, in general, they doubt their own faith. They doubt, I am not a good Muslim, right? I'm having mental health issues or some other issues because I'm not a good Muslim. And that's something, some advice that people also give to them. Oh, you should pray regularly. You should do this. Maybe you're not doing this enough. Maybe you're not doing that enough, right? But one of the things that we covered in that particular program with all the professionals and the share from our community is the fact that when people have mental health issues, one of the things that they need to do is go to professionals. We have several within our community. If you're not comfortable with that, you go beyond that, right? So that's something that